HUD options, additional HUD filters allow you to filter your HUD by number of players that are dealt into the hand, by date, and by limits. The date up here, right now it's set to only include hands that are within the last 12 months. So if you play a lot of tables and stuff, you may only want the last 2 or 3 months of hands shown in your HUD, and that's how you would change that. The filter by limits, include hands from other limits, allows you, it's exactly what it says. It includes all the hands that you have on people, at the other limits. And then the mixed FTP rush and non-rush stats allows you to filter out rush hands from normal tables and vice versa. Finally, we have filter for number of players. This allows you to filter your HUD stats based on how many people were dealt into the hand. And that's this number of players column. For people that just play a single number of players, like heads up, 6 max, or 9 max, I wouldn't really worry about touching this. But if you do play a variation of heads up, 6 max, 9 max, listen up. So the first thing I would do is number of players 2. So this is saying when 2 players are dealt into the hand, I want my HUD to show hands where 2 through 10 players have been dealt into the hand. And if you play heads up in a mix, this isn't all that useful if you see the same player. So change this to 2 and 2. That way, when 2 players are dealt into the hand, your HUD is only going to show hands where 2 players were dealt into the hand. And then for 6 max, I would change these to 3. And the maximum to 6. Now this, anytime 3 players, 4 players, 5 players, or 6 players are dealt into the hand, your HUD is going to show HUD stats for, again, how many players were dealt into the hand. And then finally for 9 max, I would probably go 7 through 10 on all of those. Obviously there's some 10-person tournaments, and some sites have 10-person cash games as well. So what this is saying now is anytime 7, 8, 9, or 10 players are dealt into the hand, show HUD stats for just 7, 8, 9, and 10. Not any 6, 5, 4, 3, or 2, but the 7 through 10 here. So I know it's a little bit confusing, but if you set it up like this, you should be fairly good. The only caveat to that is if you're a sit and go and tournament player, you may want to keep all of these at 2 through 10 because, a lot of times in sit and goes, you don't see the same players. So right now, once it gets to 7-handed, yeah, you're going to have good HUD stats. But as soon as it gets to 6-handed, you're not going to have any of your old HUD stats because it's only showing HUD stats for when 3 through 6 players were dealt to the hand. And then the same thing goes for heads up. As soon as it goes from 3-handed to 2-handed, all your HUD stats would go away again for the tournament guys. So keep that in mind, and hopefully you learned a little bit about the additional HUD filters here in HUD Manager. Good luck, everyone.